I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, autumn in full swing, and it is decently chilly, but all in all, a pleasant day here at FedEx Field just outside of the District of Columbia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Go.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do.
And a quick look at Washington's offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. And that's off the mark, incomplete. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch that in. Tight end right. Tight end ready.
Off the play fake. Sherwood slings this deep from McLaurin. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4 quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now, they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Go! Haywood! Hey, Sam up!
From the gun, Forbes gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Good dash. Quick stone, travel. Yes. Look, squeeze. Alert 3, on the ball. Let's go.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now this throw caught left side. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
No gain on the play there, second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Operating from the gun, Sherwood. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And again this time to the tailback. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Second and 1. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. From a yard out. as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw. Forbes looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arm saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves up. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think. Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On 1st and 10, Forbes. This one complete to Coleman. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. We'll check on his status when we get back. On second down, it's May, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year, and the Giants have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A try here for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
18 Gators. I got you. Ready to go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And unable to get downhill there, as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 41 yards on the ground. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Forbes. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's see what you got. Leo! Bang, bang! Check 50, check go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
To throw on 3rd down. Forbes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Definitely belongs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. But he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Back to throw. Sherwood going up top. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Forbes. Wide open receiver complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Sam Darnold has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Here we go. 10-2, son. I got you, son. I got you, son. Spin.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
That's what I do.
From the gun, Forbes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Sherwood. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Giants will get it now at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A gain of 6 there on first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Again, it's Barkley, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Let's go! Let's go!
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Looking to throw. Forbes. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
70, Indy. 54, roll out. Go. Check, 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 check. Set, 80 weapon. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Snap.
On 1st down, Penn. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff works on him, We'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. We got to step it up. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Back to throw. Forbes completes it to Coleman. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Barnes. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Faster!
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Forbes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. The toss out to Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Allen hit. He lost the football. Into the Redskins have it. They do.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Throwing after the interception. Sherwood. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Looking to throw. Sherwood looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back to throw. Sherwood. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati, and the Colts have scored again to widen their lead even further. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. And he comes back with one complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Sherwood. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 6. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
Got it.
Check. 59.
Let's go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 22. He's at the 40. 20. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
Well, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep them from going all the way.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Hey, Alpha. Check right 54. Right 5.
On 1st down, Forbes. And this is complete. It's Allen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Giants defense working their way back onto the field now. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day, and it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, Forbes. That's caught by Jackson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards, good for a giant first down. Back to throw. Forbes. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, foxtrot. Shoot.
From the gun, Forbes. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing on 1st down, Sherwood. And my goodness, another interception. off at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.